Yo, what's good, man? Good morning. This is your boy at DFSMasterMind _ over on Twitter. Thank you for clicking on the video. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your time. Man, we got a 5-game early slate, man. I've been on fire on these earlies. Recap for yesterday. I smashed in my early slates. Late slate didn't do too well, man. I had Gonzalez as my pitcher. I had him everywhere too, man. Except on my, I had one lineup with Chacin, man, and I wish I was on him instead of Gonzalez, man, because that would have changed my night completely. He had a really good game. But anyways, man, we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to take what we learned, move it on to today. And yeah, man, I'm ready to get to the green line. Ready to get to this money. Now, looking at this slate, to be honest with y'all, man, I have no clue which pitcher I like, man. I really don't. I'm lost. Man, we're just going to have to, I don't feel comfortable with any pitcher on the slate. But I'm going to just try to find the guy in the best situation, and that's what I'm going to recommend. Now, this is an edition of Quick Hits, man. New edition with compact information jammed into a short video, so we're going to keep it rolling, man. The first game we got, the Nationals versus Pittsburgh. Implied run total 5.1 to a 4.5. We have Roark versus Glasnow. The next game we have the Orioles versus Detroit, 5.4 to a 4.7. We have Dylan Bundy versus Jordan Zimmerman. The next game we have the Rockies versus the Twins, 4.1 to a 4.5. We have Marquise versus Santana in that one. The next game we have the Phillies versus the Rangers. We have Nick Pavita, I don't know how to say his name, versus Perez. And Texas, they're ranked kind of high, man. This pitcher, his last game he played against the Nationals, and he held his own, man. He looked pretty decent. So I mean, but I think it was his first career start, if I'm not mistaken. So we can't go all in on that information, but hey, he looked good, man. He looked good. The next game we got, in the last game for the early slate, Cincinnati Reds versus the Cubs. We have Garrett versus Lester. Implied run total 4.2 to a 5.9. And of course, on that Cubs slate, Wrigley Field, man, the wind is blowing out for the third straight game. I look for some big numbers. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give you my 3 cash bets, my 3 GPP bets, and then I'm gonna tell you which games I have the most invested in, and what 2 games I'm thinking about game stacking, and then I got 2 teams I want to stack. So starting off with the cash, man, Ian Happ, especially on FanDuel, second base. He's in a really good spot, batting cleanup once again with the wind blowing out. I love him as a cash option. You can put him in GPPs too, man, if you want to save a little buck, man. I like him a lot today. Good hitters environment. I think he'll have a decent day. Next, I got Joe Mauer / Vargas, because I mean they're around the same price. They're both first basemen. But I like the matchup, man. I think they're in a really good spot. Cheap options to fill up the first base if you don't want to pay up. So I really like them today. Going up against Marquise. The wind is blowing out east. Maybe these guys rock the ball. Well, see, I'm not worried about home runs with these guys, especially Joe Mauer. He tends to be on the safer side. I think he can just get a couple hits, man, and pay off that price. And then Vargas, he has a little home run upside. But I think he's pretty safe as far as hitting for average and contact. I think he'll be okay. And my last cash bet is going to be Elvis Andrus, batting second. In a good hitter's ballpark. I think they have the second highest implied run total. So he's in a good spot, man. The Rangers, they've been rolling. I like him today. Then GPPs, man, I got Ben Zobrist in that amazing hitters ballpark. I love it. He's leading off today. I think he's definitely in play. Then I have Matt Wieters going up against Glass now. I think this will be one of those games where the Nationals, they're going to shake it, man. 88 degrees, light chance of rain, but I think they should be okay. Play this one through. And then the last GPP bet I have is Chris Bryant, of course. Mr. Reliable. Yesterday he didn't have a monster game, man. I think he's definitely going to try to bounce back from that. And that's going to do it for my bets, man. And that's kind of going to be the format. And now I want to tell you the two games that I'm game stacking is going to be the Cubs versus the Reds. I keep talking about that win. I'm all over it. Highest implied total on the day, so I like them. And then Baltimore versus Detroit. This is the second highest. They have two pitchers, man, that Dylan Bundy, he's okay, man. I think a lot of people would be on him, but I can't do it. I can't touch these Detroit bats, man. At home, man, they on a roll. I can't do it, man. I can't trust it. But I like this game as far as game stacking. You can pick from either side, in my opinion. I think a lot of hitters are in good situations. And then we also have 20-mile-per-hour winds out there in that game. Just wanted to note that. And then as far as my team stacks, I love Washington today. Of course, I just got done talking about them. I think they're going to blow it open. They're going up against Glass now, who we can pick on, man. He's definitely in play to be picked on. And then the last team I got is the Rangers. They're going up against this young buck. Like I said, his last game, he looked decent, man. He looked decent, but the Rangers have been rolling. I believe they won 7 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're going to turn up for sure. Yeah, man, so that's going to do it. And then I guess I got to talk about pitching, man, because I got to choose a pitcher. But to be honest with y'all, man, I honestly don't know. I really don't. And I've been looking at it. I was thinking about Roark a little bit, but I don't know if I would want to use him in cash games or GPP, so I don't know what type of pitcher he necessarily is. He can provide a little upside, man, but it seems like he gets rocked a lot of times, and it's always scary, man. But I think he had a real bad game, his last game out, and I think the ownership will be very low. Pittsburgh, man, they I know last night they shook it a little bit, but as far as like striking out, the past couple days they've been one of the highest teams. So I think maybe we could, maybe a Roark comeback game. I think that might be in play. And then I think the safest pitcher is Santana, man. Even though I think some of these Rocky bats will have a pretty decent game, I'm starting to respect the Rockies a lot more, man. But Santana's been, he's been damn near perfect this season, man. He's been rolling, pitching with good command. I think he's been in the zone, man, for sure. And then another option is this Marquise dude for the Rockies. His last game, man, he went ham. He's a young buck, man. They're really high on him, though. I was watching ESPN. They was talking about him. Maybe we can let me dig into some numbers real quick. See, I'm not supposed to be doing this on the 3 for 3, or not the 3 for 3. On my cash, on the what did I call it? Quick hits. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm just supposed to give you the information and get out of here. But it's gonna get better, man. I'm gonna look this up really quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But yeah, man, as far as pitching, I really don't know, man. We're gonna have to y'all gonna have to find somebody that you genuinely feel somewhat okay about, and that's gonna have to be your pitcher for the early slate. It's not a lot of options, but I do like a lot of offenses, man. So I'm thinking, myself personally, I don't know if Santana will have like a that great of a game where he separates from everybody. So I'm thinking about just going a little cheaper. Dude, it's not letting me click on where I need to type for some reason. Go a little cheaper and get these bats, man. Let the bats carry me. Man, this is crazy. There we go. See, man, I got AT&T, dude. I need some better internet, man. This is childish. Like it won't even let me type in this dude's name. Well, you're just gonna have to take my word for it, man. I think the Marquise dude is in play for me. I'm looking at him for sure. It's really between him and Roark for me. But I think if you're just looking for security, cash games, man, go ahead and throw Santana in there. Because like he's been avoiding batters, man. That's it. Like he hasn't been striking out at a ridiculous rate. He's just been getting out of trouble, going out, doing his job, you know, and making good pitches and getting out of innings, man. And that's what you want from your starting pitcher, man. You want him to eat up games. He had a complete game already this season, so I think he's definitely in play. Just to give you a recap, this dude I'm talking about for the Rockies, his last game out, he played against the Cubs. He went 8 innings, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and just gave up 3 hits. But keep in mind, that's when the Cubs were in a major hitting slump. So, you know, whatever, man. I hope this video helped, dude. I tried to, you know, be as proficient as I could, but it clearly didn't happen on this video. I would record it, but, you know, we getting close to lock, man, so I want to go ahead and put this out. But anyways, quick recap, man. Pitching-wise, either Marquise or Roark for me. Santana's definitely the safest. Dylan Bundy will have a lot of ownership, but I think he'll get rocked today. And yeah, that's it for pitching. Cash bats, we got Ian Happ, we got Joe Mauer, Kenny Vargas, and Elvis Andrews as some safe, cheap cash plays. GPPs, I like Ben Zobrist, I like Matt Wieters, and I like Chris Bryant. The 2 games that I'm stacking is going to be the Cubs and Reds and Baltimore versus Detroit. And the 2 offenses that I will be stacking, Washington and Texas. This is your boy, man, at DFSMasterMind _ over on Twitter. Please follow me, hit me up, let me know what you think about the videos, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, man, all the good stuff. But most importantly, if you don't do none of that, most importantly, we need you to get to the green line, man. Cash out, bless up, have a wonderful day.